Shabbat ends in Israel, and we turn on our electrical devices to a flood of headlines bashing Israel in full force. The world is on fire, not just with war, but spreading vicious lies about Israel and the Jews. Once again, Israel is being smeared with one of the oldest Jew-hating anti-Semitic tropes in history, the blood libel. This time, it's wearing modern clothes. The global media, international nonprofits, NGOs, Western governments, and so-called human rights organizations are uniting in a grotesque campaign accusing Israel of starving children in Gaza. A brilliant but evil PR stunt masterminded by our Islamo-Nazi enemy in Gaza. This is not a mistake. This is not misinformation. This is deliberate psychological warfare. Hamas is knowingly lying about a humanitarian catastrophe, manipulating and creating footage, stealing aid, using EI, and forcing suffering upon its own people to manufacture global outrage against Israel. And the world, once again, falls for it. Or worse, it wants to believe it. And Hamas knows that. Meanwhile, these same global voices are utterly silent on the real, brutal ethnic cleansing happening just next door in Syria. Where is the outcry over the mass killings and displacement and rapes of Druze, Alawites, and Christians? Minority communities being systematically erased, yes, erased by Sunni jihadists, including Jolani's own forces in Syria. Even Christians massacred, raped, attacks in churches. Have you heard any outcry or protest over these atrocities? Communities being ethnically cleansed ongoing ever since the revolution in Syria. Crickets. Silence. But Israel? Headlines and podcasts every day blasting Israel, even from previously supportive influencers on the conservative Christian right who are silent about the massacre of Christians. Israel, a country that drops leaflets warning non-combatants in Gaza to evacuate. A country that opens humanitarian corridors to help them. A country that sends its own soldiers, including my own sons, into harm's way rather than bomb blindly from the sky. Israel, the only country in the Middle East where all minorities have total freedom and equality. We're the villain. We're the oppressor in the eyes of the world and these influencers. Why? Because truth doesn't matter anymore. As journalist Melanie Phillips says, we are in a post-truth world. Morality doesn't matter anymore. The libelous narrative matters. It is blatant Jew-hating anti-Semitism on a global scale that people are only so happy to take part in. No Jews, no news. And that narrative is controlled by a morally bankrupt global elite too lazy or complicit to confront the truth and too morally confused to distinguish between good and evil. And here's the worst part. Israel, under relentless global pressure, often gives in. Right now, Israel is sending more aid to Gaza than ever before, even dropping aid from the sky. More aid for Hamas to steal and feed their own terrorists in tunnels and withhold from their own women and children. We are told that sending more aid to Gaza, even when we know Hamas seizes it, weaponizes it, sells it in the black market to earn money, and uses it to strengthen its war machine, is the moral thing to do. Give them more aid. No, it is not the moral thing to do. It is the immoral thing to do. Giving aid that empowers this Islamo-Nazi enemy in Gaza is not compassion. It is appeasement. It enables more terror, more bloodshed, more lies that endangers all of us worldwide. Every truckload that pops up Hamas is not saving lives. It's prolonging suffering and conditioning jihadis worldwide to do this in the future. The truly moral act is to defeat Hamas completely, to dismantle the jihadist death cult that uses its own people as human shields and then blames Israel for the carnage that it itself orchestrates for the cameras. Defeating Hamas and ensuring that Gaza is made Jewish again is saving lives. Jewish lives, Arab lives, global lives. It is standing up for the truth over lies, for justice over terrorism, for civilization over barbarism. It is deterrence against an evil jihadi enemy that wants to destroy the whole freedom-loving world. That is morality. The question is, how are we supposed to be a light unto the nations here in Israel? When the world chooses to believe dark lies about us, even when we bend over backwards to prove their lies wrong. When every act we do trying to prove our morality in their eyes is twisted, and every lie against us is celebrated to bash us. And here's the key point. Appeasing their evil demands in the name of morality is actually immoral, because it hands victory to evil and punishes those who stand for good. And yet that is exactly why we must continue to have total victory over our Islamo-Nazi enemy and not give them any aid. Because that is the moral thing to do, the true moral thing to do. Because the Jewish people have never relied on the world's approval to fulfill our destiny. We stood alone at the Mount Sinai. We walked through the desert alone for 40 years. We rebuilt our ancient homeland, not because the world helped us, but in spite of the world not wanting us to return home. Now we must finish what we started. Defeat evil. Defeat the Islamo-Nazi jihadi enemy. Defeat Hamas. We have to stand for truth, even if the morally confused world screams at us in the name of morality, to aid an evil enemy instead. We must be the voice that cuts through the global immoral hypocrisy. We must be the light that shines not because it is accepted, but because we represent God's right and morality. And we must say it clearly. Appeasing their so-called moral demands to give aid is actually immoral, because it allows evil to sense that it is winning. God told us clearly in the Torah, those who pity the evil will be evil towards those who deserve pity. And that is exactly what we are witnessing clearly today by the nations of the world. True morality means fighting evil, not feeding it. It means standing firm when the world bows to evil. It means holding the line of civilization when the other enlightened people choose collapse instead. With full appreciation for Prime Minister Netanyahu, for his strength and determination in leading us in victory in this incredibly complex, multi-front war aimed at wiping Israel off the map that was launched on us on October 7, 2023. Netanyahu still has not internalized the deeper moral clarity that this moment demands of us. Despite Netanyahu's achievements, he continues to bend to the pressure of a hypocritically and morally confused international community. But the people of Israel, the majority of the people of Israel, we do understand. We see through the lies. We recognize what true morality looks like. We are leading the way in becoming a true light unto the nations here in Israel, even while our leadership hesitates to rise to that level. With unshakable faith in God, we are on the path to total victory thanks to our actions and our faith. Not just military victory, but moral victory. Because what the world needs now is not more appeasement dressed up as morality and ethics. Humanity is starving for real morality. And Israel, guided by truth and faith, is poised to bring that light, whether the enlightened West, really morally confused, is ready for it or not. Am Yisrael Chai. The people of Israel live, the mission lives, and truth and morality live within us, even as the lies of the enlightened Western world buries it. How many voices provide you with this truth? We do. If you are not yet a subscriber to our daily, belief-based, inspiring, politically incorrect, truthful videos about Israel, the Jewish people, and the freedom-loving world, what are you waiting for? Go to pulsevisual.com and click to subscribe today. And yes, we are a donor-based operation. We need your donations for support in order to make these videos and get our videos seen and do all the work we do. So every once in a while, whether a large donation or a small donation, just go to pulsevisual.com and click on the donate button. Shalom, everyone, and thanks for watching.
Pulse of Israel, frontline videos from the Holy Land. Support our work by donating today.